Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video. Today I'm actually going to be doing my 2020 wrap up for TV shows and movies. Despite 2020 being a shit show, they did offer up some good entertainment, and I thought I would share with you some of my favorites that the year had to offer. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. Okay guys, so the first show that I ended up starting the year watching was The Witcher, and this show, although I loved it and eventually I got to where I needed to get to like the show a lot, I will say that it was confusing as hell, and I had to put in some work to understand what the heck was going on. I didn't really get that world. It gave me a lot of Game of Thrones vibes, even though I didn't really watch Game of Thrones. I watched it the first season, then I was like, I'm out. But definitely had to go back and do some research to understand the characters, understand the lingo, understand what the hell was like, what everything meant. There's no narration in the show, so there's no one kind of like explaining to you what the heck things mean and what the heck is happening. So definitely had to go back and do some online research, had to understand what was happening. But once you get over that hurdle, you start to understand. But also I feel like another thing that can kind of screw you over with the show is that it does follow three different characters, and you're kind of it can be confusing because it goes back in time and then it goes back to the present, and then I guess like the whole first season was building up to the three characters meeting and kind of creating a linear path, like one path for them to like the whole story to come together. But the first season was strictly about each character's own individual story and how it kind of intertwines with the other characters, and it can be confusing. But if you are willing to put in the time and the work, I guess you can go ahead and try the show. I really liked it, and I am excited and looking forward to season 2, which there is going to be a season 2. They kind of came out and said it. There's just no like release date. It's just all we know is coming out in 2021 this year. But if you guys want to give it a try, and if you're into Fantasyland, witches, dragons, and that kind of stuff, this is totally something you might be into. For a little background on the show, all I really know is that The Witcher, I believe, has its own books, but also it's a video game. But I think it got popular from the video game. I don't know. I think it has. I don't really know much about like the life of the show these characters prior to the show. All I did was look up the lingo and some of the things that I didn't understand. But other than that, yeah. But I did enjoy the show overall, and I definitely think it's worth the watch if you're willing to kind of go back and kind of do your own research. Yeah. Okay, guys, so the next show is Spinning Out. Totally loved this show. I was hooked from the beginning. It follows the world of figure skating. It focuses primarily on a young woman named Kat Baker, and she had a nasty accident, and it kind of puts her dreams on pause, and she kind of now has to work her way into getting into the game again, but now as a pair skater, not a single skater. And it basically follows her life dealing with love, her family, her mental health issues, and just the pressure that comes along with that sport and that world. Totally loved the show. Me, my mom, and my sister just completely devoured it. We loved it so much, and it was really, really interesting. Unfortunately, it didn't get picked up for a second season, but I still think it's totally worth a watch. But I really love this show, and I was so happy to have got to enjoy it for even just one season. I really liked it. I wish there would be a second season, but I don't know. Unfortunately, they cut it. I don't really know why they cut the show. If anyone has any background on that, let me know in the comments. I really, really did enjoy it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, guys, the next one is it's a fan favorite. It's Outer Banks. Loved this show. Again, watched it with my family. We all really enjoyed it, and it basically follows John B., a kid who is his father disappeared, and he's basically kind of running from CPS, and him and his best friends he gets his friends to help him look for this treasure that his dad was originally looking for and then ended up disappearing. And the story just follows him and his friends looking for this treasure and all the things that he has to go through, and all the people that he has to kind of get in his way and his friends' way. Again, this is a really great show. Really enjoyed it. It did get picked up for a second season, which I am so excited for. I cannot wait to see how it's going to take off after where it left off. Loved Outer Banks, loved the characters, and I'm really excited to see what the heck happens next. Okay guys, so the next one is Julie and the Phantoms. I actually did a whole video on that. I will link it down below so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But the short version is, it's a show about a girl whose mother passes away. She actually is really talented and can sing and play the piano, but unfortunately in losing her mom, she kind of stops playing, stops singing, and loses interest in music altogether. And one day she's in her garage and she's looking through her mom's things, and she comes across this CD that actually she plays, and out of nowhere these three ghosts come and appear and kind of change her life and her whole world. She starts playing again, and it's just her journey, finding the love of music again, and just healing after her mom dies. The show's really great. It's a Netflix show. I don't know if it is picked up for a second season. I really hope it does. It did really well from all of the reviews that I've read, but they haven't said anything about a season 2 yet, which makes me a little worried. The show's really great, and yeah, I think everyone on the cast is really talented, so I hope it gets picked up, and I hope we see what happens next in the story. All right, so the next one is called Emily in Paris, and this show follows a young girl named Emily Cooper, who is a marketing exec in Chicago, who is enlisted to move to Paris to give them a little bit of, I guess you would say, the American perspective. Now, this show just follows Emily's adventures in Paris and the people that she meets, and the relationships she starts there. This show specific for me, I would say, is not my top. It wouldn't be my top 5 or my top 3. I found, although I got through the show, I found that it wasn't something that kind of had my eyeballs glued to the screen. It was definitely kind of a show that I, would occasionally get my phone and scroll through Instagram while I'm watching. It wasn't one of those shows that kind of got me hooked, or I got really invested in the characters. So, I mean, you could give it a try. I didn't hate it at all. It's just, I don't think, like I said, it wouldn't be in my top 5. Okay, guys, so this show is by far probably one of my favorites. I really enjoyed the show, and I definitely got hooked onto the characters and got really attached to the relationship. I really love the show. This show's called Normal People. I totally love the show. It follows Marianne and Connell. They're two young people who live in Ireland, and it basically just follows their relationships. They're both from 2 different worlds, kind of. Marianne comes from a wealthy background, and Connell comes from a working class background. Connell's mom actually works for Marianne as a housekeeper, and they both go to the same school. And she's kind of the wallflower, kind of quiet girl, doesn't have many friends, and Connell's kind of the popular guy at school. And they both kind of have this really intense relationship. They start something in high school, but it kind of gets screwed up because they want to keep it a secret. And Connell is so afraid of what his friends will think for him being with Marianne, because she's kind of like a loner, quiet, not really popular at all. Basically it just follows their relationship through high school into college, and just kind of follows them through the ups and downs. It deals with a lot of different stuff. I really, really love the show. I don't want to give too much away. I really think it's worth a watch. I did hear that this was a book originally, and then they turned it into a show. Now, as far as season 2, I don't know that there will be one, because apparently there isn't a second book, and apparently they just want to leave it as is. But then again, I don't know. I haven't heard anything concrete about there being a second season or not being a second season, as much as I would love to see where these characters go, because I would love to just see like what happens next and just kind of have, I don't know, I'm kind of, a part of me just likes a happy ending, and I would just really love to see what happens with these characters. But if it does just end the way it did, I guess that's life. Life just doesn't always have a happy ending, but I mean, it is what it is. I really, if there is a second season, I 1000% will watch. I really love this show. It was definitely one of my top, it was my favorite, one of my favorites for 2020. I really, really did love this show. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on Normal People. But yeah, check it out for yourself. Definitely worth a watch if you're into just kind of romance, or just kind of young relationships and stuff like that. It really deals with kind of things that people in high school and in college deal with. So, I mean, give it a gander if you want to. I totally think it's worth it. Okay, guys, so the last show is Bridgerton. I figured I would end all the TV shows off with the one I ended the year off with. I did a whole video on Bridgerton, which I will link down below instead of talking too much about it. Again, really loved Bridgerton. You can watch the video and get my whole review on that show, but yeah, totally a recommend. Really, really love it. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for all the TV shows for the year of 2020. Okay, guys, so for the first movie, I'm going to start off with Mulan. It was the movie that I watched over New Year's holiday with my family. This is basically just the live action version of the cartoon Mulan. This one was changed a lot more from the cartoon, just to be a little bit more serious, and I guess to follow the actual story of Mulan. I could be wrong, but I did really enjoy the story. I really like the cartoon, but I also did enjoy the live action. For those who don't know about Mulan, it's basically about a young woman who has to disguise herself as a man to go to war, because there was a war that was going to happen, or there was a battle that was going to happen, and they asked for each household to provide one male. And in Mulan's family, she only has a sister, and her dad unfortunately was unable to go. But if there was no other male, her father would have had to gone. So she disguised herself as a boy, basically, to go and fight in her father's place. Again, it's the classic tale of Mulan. I really enjoyed the live action. I don't know how well it did this year because of the whole coronavirus, but yeah, it was still enjoyable. The next movie I watched was We Can Be Heroes. We Can Be Heroes. Okay, I'll be honest. I really just watched this because I was a huge Shark Boy and Lava Girl fan, and I kind of just wanted to see their kid. This was a Netflix show, and it came out, I believe, on Christmas Day. It's basically about a bunch of superhero kids banding together to save the world and their parents from aliens. It's a cute, fun, kid-friendly, family-friendly movie. Totally cute. Again, wasn't my top favorite movie. I really just watched it for nostalgia because I loved Shark Boy and Lava Girl. You know, the whole Spy Kids, and I think Robert Rodriguez is the one who made all those movies, and I really just wanted to see, like I said, Shark Boy and Lava Girl's kid. She was so cute. Put a picture right here. But yeah, that's pretty much why I watched that movie. But it was cute, and if you're looking for a family-friendly movie, this one is totally it. Next one is After We Collided. I am not going to go too deep into this one. Everyone on this channel probably knows about After We Collided. I will just leave a link down below to my video reviewing that film, so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, guys, so the next one is Wonder Woman 1984. This just basically follows Wonder Woman in that time. Even though this movie was good, I definitely wouldn't say it was better than the first one. So if you want to check it out and see what happens to Diana in that year, go ahead. But I definitely would say the first one is the best one. The next one is The Kissing Booth 2. I really enjoyed this one. I really liked it. This one just follows Elle Evans in her senior year, working through life with her relationship with her boyfriend and her best friend, figuring out finding her footing in her relationship with her best friend and his relationship with his girlfriend, just trying to kind of work through that, but also work with her boyfriend, and also picking colleges to see where she wants to go the following year. Just typical teenage young adult stuff. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cute romantic comedy kind of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all for The Kissing Booth. The next one is 365 Days. This one, I actually was pretty excited when I first heard about it from another YouTuber that was anticipating it in the year. This one is kind of like a foreign 50 Shades of Grey in some sort of way, but deals more with the mafia world. I would say it was an okay movie, considering I didn't really understand most of it. It's like in Italian, but also in Polish, but then also in English. It's in 3 different languages. It was definitely an okay film. It did surprisingly like well, and a lot of people, it got really popular. But yeah, it was an okay movie, but it was one of 2020's I guess popular romance movies of the year. But definitely, I don't even know if they're making the second one because it does follow books. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. 300. Hey guys, this is me while editing. I just quickly wanted to throw in here, while on the topic of foreign films, I did watch a movie in 2020 called Killing Soraya. It is a book adaptation, so it's a book series that was turned into a movie. I really did enjoy it, and it's all in Spanish, but there are subtitles. I really did like it, and I think it's totally worth a watch. It focuses primarily on a girl named Soraya who at a young age was sold into like sex work, and it does have heavy topics in the film, also in the book. I didn't read the first one, but I did read the second one. After watching the film, it does focus on heavy topics, and it is more so of a thriller, but there's also romance in it. Like I said, it follows this young woman that was sold into like sex work at a young age by her mother, and it starts off with her getting rescued by a man named Victor, and it's just kind of her journey getting out of that life, and kind of a romance sparks between her and Victor. And yeah, I really did enjoy it. Again, it's in Spanish, so if you're not into reading subtitles, this might not be for you. But if you did read the book, you might like the movie. I don't know if they're going to adapt any of the other books, but yeah, that's pretty much that. But yeah, check it out if you are interested. Okay guys, and the last one is The Craft, and this one was a remake of the original movie that came out, I believe, in 1996. It just follows a group of young friends that are practicing witches, and it definitely goes kind of left, like most magic does. Everything comes at a price. I watched this movie around Halloween time with my around Halloween time with my sister. It's just a fun little spooky movie. I definitely liked the first one, the original one, but this one is just a remake. If you guys are interested, if you were a fan of the original one, you might want to try and check this one out. I don't know if you'll love it as much as the first one, but it basically has the same premise. But yeah, we'll see what. Okay guys, so that's pretty much everything for this list, this wrap up, 2020 wrap up of TV shows and movies. I hope you liked it. Maybe you found a movie or two or shows you might like to watch from this list. That's pretty much everything. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.